Good day everyone. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. This video is the third video of the Analysis and Design course. In this video, we will discuss about the data gathering method. My name is Gunggu and welcome to channel Gunggu Learning. Before we conduct systems analysis, we need to gather data and information first from the company that we want to analyze. There are basically two methods in gathering data and information. The first one is the interactive method, and the second one is the non-interactive method or the unobtrusive method. The interactive method involves of gathering information by directly interacting with the data source, for example with the respondents, while the unobtrusive method are data gathering methods in covert and out in the open without interacting directly with the respondents. The interactive method consists of three main types of methods. The first method is the interview, and the second is joint application design. The last one is questionnaires. Whereas for the non-interactive methods, consists of five main methods, which are first, sampling. The second is quantitative document analysis. The third one is qualitative document analysis. Fourth is behavioral observation, and last is the observation of the environment. In practice, these two methods are used simultaneously and mutually complementing. For example, in a company, when an analyst wants to choose respondents for interview, because the respondents' population is too large and the analysis will do sampling to choose the respondents for the interview. We will start the explanation with the interactive method first. The interview method is a method where an analyst can directly interact with respondents, both through online meeting or offline meetings. In addition to obtaining data and information directly, the analyst can also observe the behavior of the respondents directly during the interview session. The joint application design method is similar to interview but is done in groups, like a focus group discussion specifically designed for information systems development, where analysts can interact with a group of respondents and conduct a group interview and discuss collectively. The questionnaire method is an interactive method through a media, can be a paper-based media or electronic media. So there are no direct face-to-face meeting, but the advantage is that questionnaires has a wider range and larger quantity of respondents. The type of questions for the three types of interactive methods are similar. The first is the closed-ended questions, the second is the open-ended questions, and the last is the probing questions. Closed-ended questions are the question where the answer is already limited by the analyst, so that respondents can only answer based on choices of answers that has been given by the analyst. For example, a yes or no choice questions, multiple choice questions, or multiple answer questions, and as well as the Likert scale question. Meanwhile, the open-ended question is a question where the answer is not limited by the analyst, so that respondents can answer to whatever they want. This type of question is suitable for digging information that may not be known or when an analyst wants to know more beneath the surface answers. Probing questions are follow-up questions or used for digging for further information. This type of question is usually more suitable for use on closed-ended questions, because if the respondent answers, then the analyst can follow up with another question, like why A is your answer. The presentation structure of all of the three interactive method questions is usually divided into three types of structures. The first one is the pyramid structure, starting off the detailed question first until a more generic or aggregated ones. The second is the funnel structure, which is opposite of pyramid structure, where the generic or aggregated question first, then funneling into a more detailed one. Then the third is a combination of both previous structure, which is the diamond structure, where the question starts from a detailed one, stretching to a more aggregated one, then from there it goes funneling to a more detailed one. Now let's turn to discuss the non-interactive methods. Sampling should have been discussed in detail in your statistics course. Commonly, respondents are usually in a group of population. And in order to increase efficiency and effectiveness of data and information collection, analysts do not take all respondents in a population as respondents. Instead, analysts will conduct sampling to the population. The most simplest sampling method is the random sampling method, in which we will randomly take a sample from the existing population. For example, we have a population of 100 respondents with different characteristics separated by colors. Then after we calculate by using a certain formula, we can get a certain number of samples that can represent the population. The second method is the quantitative document analysis. Analysts need to acquire the quantitative documents represented with quantitative numbers in it. For example, a daily production report or final sales statements for quantitative analysis, to ensure that the information presented by those documents came from an effective and efficient process, which also ensures that the business operations within the company runs effectively and efficiently. The qualitative document analysis methods, on the other hand, requires obtaining the qualitative documents. For example, starting from a management report up to a company website and even to the social media owned by the company for analysis. The analysis can be done by using semantic-based tools or text analysis-based tools, or even use artificial intelligence tools that can analyze the text and sentences in those qualitative documents. Next is the observation of behaviors. The behavior observed by the analyst is the decision-making behaviors from operational, middle, to upper-level management. How managers make decisions, what are the things considered by them when making a decision can be observed by analysts as considerations for analysts when making conclusions. The last method is the observation of the environment. Analysts can use STROBE or structured observation of the environment methodology by looking at some items in the business environment. There are 7 observable items starting from location of the office to the clothing used by decision makers to ensure how the environment can affect their decision based on the information generated by an information system. After data information are gathered by using the two methods, both interactive and the non-interactive, and before making conclusions and performing analysis to the data and information, the analyst must ensure that the data and informations are both valid and reliable. Henceforth, the analyst needs to test the validity and reliability of the data and information gathered. The use of the interview, joint application design, observation and document analysis can usually be tested its validity and reliability by utilizing the qualitative testing methods called the triangulations. This triangulation method is capable to verify information and data obtained from different methods. For example, the answer of an interview, and then verified with the results of document analysis, and then after that verified also with the results of observation. Let's say that from the interview result we gather information of an A. Then we also gather the same information A by using the document analysis. And then after that we conduct observation and also gathered information A. Thus, we can conclude that after using a triangulation method, information A is valid and reliable. For the questionnaire, the analyst must test the face validity, convergent validity, and discriminant validity. Face validity ensures that the questions or instruments are written appropriately. It is understandable by reader or respondents who were asked to the questions. Convergent validity will ensure all questions or instruments asked in the questionnaire can measure a certain construct. For example, I want to test two different constructs. The first is the mental aspect and the second is physical aspect. I have three questions or instruments for the mental aspects. First is, are you getting angry easily? The second one is, are you patient enough? And the third one is, how many times do you exercise in a day? We can see that these questions are not valid convergently because the third question can measure the mental aspect construct. Meanwhile, discriminant validity refers to where any instrument or question should not measure other construct that it measures. In this case, we can conclude that all three sets of questions are not valid discriminantly because the third question measures the physical aspect construct. For data and information gathered using sampling method, analysts also need to ensure that the data gathered are valid. Analysts can use classical statistical tests to do it. For example, conducting t-tests or f-tests, in which the gathered data and information can be concluded as statistically significant, which means that the conclusions based on a statistical testing can represent the conclusion for the population. After the gathered data and information is tested and their validity and reliability is verified, then the analyst can start using those data and information for further analysis and conclude the results of the analysis. That is all that we can discuss. Do not forget to subscribe to this channel. See you at our next video session. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.